Ever since I started TikTok Shop Affiliate, I realized how much money making potential this app actually had, and I decided to start teaching this to my close friends and family members so they could try it too. And the results that they've gotten have been literally out of this world. However, in this video, I'm going to show you how my sister Brittany made over $4 million in sales, taking home over $500,000 in profit her first year doing TikTok Shop Affiliate, following the exact same formula that I developed and actually made a consistent $20,000 a month for myself. And I'm actually teaching to my school community members with over 1,000 people in there. Welcome in, Brittany. I do have some things written down, just kind of going over what your kind of roles are, your hats that you wear throughout your life, and some numbers. I have written down here that you're a mother, you're a wife, you're my sister. You've generated over $4 million in product sales or GMV in 2024 alone. You took home $500,000 in commission, and you reached 178 million views in 1 year, which is literally, I think, half the population of the United States, which is like unreal. Um, Welcome in. Excited. I think a lot of people in here have been waiting for this kind of call. So we'll kind of just hop right into it. Just some basic questions, kind of seeing what we can get out of you, out of like what your story is, and just all in all, like what is making you so successful. Because there's obviously something that you're doing that's working, and I think a lot of people can gain from that.
Yeah.
Just a quick overview for people uh, that are going to see this that have never known anything about this kind of influencer side of things. What exactly is it that you do? Like, kind of just in a nutshell.
So basically, what we do, we're like the marketing for brands. I mean, you guys have been kind of doing it for a while too. Um, we market products to the general population, so we're more of a firsthand. Let me see how the normal person uses this in my household, instead of brands going and spending X million of number of dollars on marketing. It's like we're the marketing team now, so we're basically marketing products for companies. When it gets down to it, that's basically all we're doing.
I guess so. You mostly specialize in TikTok, right? Or do you go
Mhm.
outside of platforms? Do you do other platforms?
No, not really. I've been starting to look at it just because with uncertainty with TikTok, it's just, I don't think TikTok's going to end up going anywhere. I think they'll probably end up making a deal with somebody.
I think TikTok is definitely a good option, but I think like all these other platforms are going to be like rushing to it. Like it seems like they
Yeah.
are. So
Not even just for consumers, but like brands are noticing it. They don't have to spend millions of dollars on an ad to play at the Super Bowl. I mean,
oh,
obviously they're still going to do that, but it's like it's so much cheaper for them to go through us, and then and then we make more money off it. It's just like a win-win for both sides. So I think
yeah.
brands are noticing that too.
Yeah, and it's funny because some of these creators, and I think you're even part of this, where the views that you're getting on your videos, or even a lot of creators are getting on their videos, are similar to even Super Bowl numbers, which
Oh
is
yeah,
which is unreal to think about in that
the
aspect.
reach is insane. That's why it's really hard when all these creators, they were wanting to ban TikTok. They were like, you guys don't like the people in our government, just they don't use it, so they don't understand the algorithm. Like this algorithm is not anything like any other platform or any sort of TV network. Like it's nothing like that. The reach is insane.
I have written down here that you got 36 million views in December, and you sold $807,000 in product, which those views, that 36 million, equates to 1/10 of the entire United States in 1 month, which is more than the entire state of Texas.
Whenever I see, and I have plenty of them, I have plenty of videos that sit in, 200-300 range. And honestly, I know it's hard when you see all of your videos doing that. First of all, if you haven't had a video go viral, it's like breaking through that shell. Once you get a viral video, you're going to have a lot less of those 200 to 300 videos happening. But it's like getting that first viral video. Almost all your videos are going to be like 200, 300. Maybe one will get up to like 1,000, 1,500 right off the bat. So whether that's talking fast, or maybe I was showing something and I was saying something really strange, or like very, it's just whatever you can like keep their attention for the first 3 to 5 seconds. I know we always say that, but it literally comes down to those first 3 to 5 seconds. Like that is what's going to make or break your video. For any of you guys that don't really know how I got started, obviously Nick was the first one in our family to even dabble in TikTok shop. And he was always messaging me, oh, like I made 10 grand this week. And I was like, okay, what are you doing? Like, just kind of explain it to me. So, anyways, he taught me everything about TikTok shop. I just wanted to get it because um, I was pregnant with my second baby. So, this was this time last year. And I was gonna get like 4 weeks maternity leave, but because honestly, we couldn't really afford to take anything more than that. And I was like, you know what? If I could just make like a couple, like maybe a couple thousand to take a couple weeks off, a couple more weeks off, that would be great. Because anyone that's in here that's a mom knows that 4 weeks is not long at all. So I honestly went in with the mindset of like, if I can make a little bit of extra money from now until June, January to June, the next 6 months, and kind of just hoard some money so that I can take a couple more weeks maternity leave, that would be wonderful. That's what I was in it for. And every day my mindset was like, oh, like, you know what? I wasn't making the kind of money I was hoping for right off the bat. So then I tried to change my mind shift. I was like, you know what? I paid for my coffee and I paid for my breakfast. So that's great. Like I didn't spend any money today because I will always go and grab a coffee and like a snack during the day. So I was like, you know what? As long as I pay for my snack and my coffee, like this is fine. I'm getting free product. I think my biggest advice when it comes to just starting out, and it's really hard to do now that you see so many people having so much success, is that you can't go into it the mindset of like this has to work. Because if you go into that mindset, it's almost not going to work. You have to think about it as like, hey, I'm going to try this thing. I get free stuff, which is cool. If I make some money off of it, great. But you cannot like don't go into this relying on it to work.
That's a good way to think about it. We were thinking about talking about mindset too, because I think that's a huge part of it. And a lot of people do come off in their content with very salesy, or not even necessarily salesy, but a lot of times like very like forced content. And I think that's something that you do really well is your content sounds very genuine. You add your very natural tone of voice. And so I guess, did you work on that with your content, or did you just naturally fall into it? Or is it just like progression? Just every video just seemed like it got a little bit better. What was
I
your kind
think
of mindset?
I think it was a progression.
Okay.
Um, I think in the beginning, and I honestly I don't if you can do it right off the bat, props to you because I think it's one of those things where it's like every video that you post is practice. And I think it's like the more you practice, the better you get. And like I said, if you were to go back and look at my first video, my first shop video, I don't even want to go look at it because it'd probably make me want to cry. It's probably so cringy. But it's like I posted, I try to post upwards of like 80 to 100 videos a month. So it's like over a year. Imagine how much practice that is.
So at the end of the day, it's consistency basically.
It posting more. And I know we say it all the time, but it's like, and you made the analogy in one of your TikToks, it's like a lottery ticket. And it really is like, so I don't know if some of you guys are probably even in the STAR program. If you guys don't know, some of you might not know what the STAR program is, but it's just for creators that have higher sales. And the requirements in STAR is that you have to post like X number of videos a month and you have to hit X number in sales. But when I joined Star, my sales were great, but it was still just off of like one viral product that I had. And I was just like pushing that product once I got it to go viral. And then I started to notice like I was dropping off. But once I joined Star, they were like, you have to post this many videos a month. And I am telling you, it made a huge difference in my sales because I was forced to post. I mean, it was 80 videos, and I think it's still 80. Some people have been told it's more. I don't know. But I was forced to post more content, and I swear it had a complete direct result in my sales. Like my sales went flying up because it's like, okay, some days I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what to say about this product. I'm just going to post it because I have one day left on, my sample posting requirements. And it's like, it wasn't even a good, at least in my eyes, I was like, this isn't even a good video. And it took off. And it's like, how many videos do you think that people haven't made because they are like, I don't know what to say about this, or I don't even like, this isn't going to be a good video. I've had so many videos like that that I just posted because I needed to hit my video requirement that ended up being viral videos. And honestly, it was probably because I cared so little about trying to make it good that it came off a little more authentic than me trying to push the sale because I was like, forget it. I'm just posting it to hit my, video count for the month. Um, but I did notice a direct correlation with posting more content and actually generating more sales. And I'm to the point now where I'm not making. I have one or two products that I make a big chunk of my income from now, but that's only about like half of my money. So let's say like beginning of this month, I don't even know what was going on. I've been doing really good this month. So the first couple of days of February, I was like ending my days around like 3,000 in commission. And I was like, okay, I had like one or two products that made up about 1,500 of that. And then I had like 20 products that I was selling four or five of that made up the other 1,500. And that literally comes from just posting so many videos of so many different products. So it's like once you get your products that, I had one product that's been going viral for me for like months now. That's the bulk of my income. But then that's still only about like half of what I've been making. The other half is just, I post 80 to 100 videos on products a month, and it all adds up at the end of the day.
So besides your kind of natural tonality in your content, what would you say makes your videos really good or that kind of stand out amongst these kind of videos that generally don't go viral? Obviously, you can throw in things like controversy, like we were talking about before, but like what else would you say that you kind of add into your content? These like little things that you think actually make a big difference.
I mean, obviously the biggest ones that you're going to notice, I mean, I see people that have the blurry videos, their audio's cutting in and out, just basic filming stuff. Or they have like text all over the screen. And I use text on my screen, but I think it's important to know where to be putting it. And it's not like completely in your face, like sale, buy me. Um, but when it comes to like filming the content, my biggest thing is like visual hook. I'll seriously grab a product and I'll like maybe this is I'm crazy, but like at nighttime I'll be like laying in bed and I'm like, what can I do with this product that like what could I show it doing? What could I be doing with it? And like the first couple seconds that is gonna get someone to keep from scrolling. Like I'll spend a lot of time thinking about how I'm gonna film a product. So like that's why some people think it's crazy that like it'll take me an hour if I'm like on a roll to film and edit and post one product because I put so much thought into like this like where's this clip gonna go? Maybe I need to shorten it by like 0.1 of a second. Like did the flow sound good? Like does it, it's like the video structure is so important. And I think the editing is very, very important. For example, your voiceovers, if you're doing voiceovers, make sure you're overlapping so that when you're speaking, it rolls right into the next one so that there's not that dead air. And then like people get bored hearing the pause. It's just those little things are I think the editing makes a huge difference in people's videos.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of times what I do, and I feel like you probably do this too, is we'll look over our content and just try to see it from a viewer perspective. Like almost as if you just scroll onto it, like what would I want to see next after I see this one clip? Like what would I, as a person who wants to purchase this, need to see after this one clip? And I feel like if you do that, you're kind of giving the person more reason to stay instead of scrolling. Whereas a
Yeah.
lot of people, they kind of just like show the product or they'll show them themselves unboxing and it's like as a person who'd want to purchase a product I don't really care too much about seeing it get pulled out of a box. I want to see what does this thing do for me. And a lot of times it's like, okay, well, what's another question I would ask if I was purchasing this? Like does it come with that thing? Okay, well, let me show that right after this video. So I feel like you
Yeah. A
probably think
big
that way.
strategy that I've heard a lot of people using, and I do it all the time, um, and never copy another creator, but go to that product and you can see which is like the top selling video or the top, which one got a ton of views selling that specific product. Look and see what they did in the first couple seconds. What did they talk about, or like how are they using it? And then recreate it in your own way, you know? Like I always tell people go and look what I did with this viral video. And I see videos on my page all the time that I can tell this person literally watched one of my videos and recreated it, which is totally fine. I've also had people that literally frame for frame copied the same exact thing that I did and then used my audio. And I was like, well, that's not cool. So don't do that. But definitely go onto the product and click that little, you know, when you're looking at what the estimated commission is, you can see the top selling or like this one had 208,000 views. What are they doing that got that pushed out? And then just get ideas. That's the first, like, if I can't think of what to say about a product, I'll go to those videos and I'll get ideas from there and I'll come up with something that'll spark an idea.
Yeah, it's funny. There's so many videos that are like that. Even I've done that tons of times, and I even recommend it to everybody here. Like, go look at that content, even my content. Like, look
Yeah,
at
I think
what
you
it
were
is.
actually the one that told me to do that, like in the beginning. I
Yeah.
think you were the one that told me to do that actually.
So, do you have I guess some, do you have any examples, I guess, off the top of your head of some controversy that you've created in videos that worked? Because I think a lot of people get stuck with like just one thing that they use all the time. I do it all the time. My videos are just on repeat of the same hook over and over. So I want to know from your perspective, is there some like way that you use to come up with more controversy, or is it product by product, would you say?
Um, Honestly, a lot of my controversial videos, I didn't necessarily mean to be controversial. Um, I kind of just like after the fact when it started blowing up and people were like, "That's not true. This is blah, blah, blah." I was like, I mean, yeah, that was maybe not true, but it was like, for example, my first ever viral video, by the way, it was at like 23 million views, got taken down, and I was so sad about it, because I said Dyson in it. So I was like, this is so much better than my Dyson, and it actually was. My Dyson sucks, not in a good way. It is awful, and so I got a new one, and I was like, wow, this is actually better than my Dyson. So I was like, I was being honest, like my Dyson sucked, but I'm sure like the $1,200 Dysons that are new are going to be better than my $80 vacuum. But that pissed everybody off because naturally people spend a lot of money on their vacuum and they don't want to hear that an $80 vacuum is better than their Dyson. So that was my first very controversial video.
I like it. I mean, yeah, if it works. I think a lot of people get concerned about um, when they're first starting this stuff, they get concerned about what other people that they know will think of them. And I always tell them, I'm like, no one really that you know, if you're starting a brand new TikTok account or if they don't follow you, you're probably not ever going to see it unless you go viral. And if you're going viral, you're probably making a ton of money. And at that point, who cares?
Yeah.
So it's a good way to think about it like that too.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I was like, I don't want to post on TikTok because, well, this is so like, what if people I know find like come across my video? It was so embarrassing. And then, you know, it's just like post the video. That's what everyone says, post the video. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, post the video. Who cares?
I like it.
It paid
Um,
off.
I also wanted to mention because I think it'd be kind of cool. So you got an office space now. So you kind
Yeah,
of
that's what I'm
upgraded.
doing now.
You're kind of reinvesting. Yeah, look at that. I've actually never seen that. So you now that you got that office space, do you feel like that is helping with your content, and like what ways do you think it actually is, if it is at all?
It's probably I think it's very situational and personal to me. My house is very small. It's like 1,100 square feet. And I have two kids and a husband and a dog. So, my house was getting way overwhelmed with products.
It's funny you kind of mentioned right there. You were talking about voiceovers for like a quick second, and I wanted to ask about that. I noticed when I look through your content, a lot of the really viral videos that you get are voiceover videos. Do you double down like your really good content onto that style, or kind of what is your method? Have you noticed that yourself?
I don't really know because I've actually been trying to think about that too. I've tried like thinking back to all of my viral videos because honestly, you would think that a voiceover comes off as less authentic than just speaking to someone like how I'm talking right now. Um, but I think the reason I go more for voiceovers is because I can just redo the voice. I can redo the voiceover because I stutter over my words all the time. Like I literally feel like I can't speak. I have like a block in my brain every 2 seconds, and I'm redoing my voiceovers like 20 times before I get it right. So honestly, it's just a way for me to like make content faster.
And I guess that kind of leads to my other question. Do you edit directly on TikTok or do you use other platforms? Kind of what is your method
I
in doing
use
that?
TikTok.
Okay.
The only I like using, like, if I'm gonna be on screen, I like the beauty mode. That's just a personal thing. Makes me feel better about myself. So if I'm gonna be like seen in it, my face is gonna be in it, I'll like film in app in TikTok. But if I'm filming a product and I want it to be a lot more crisp, I'll film with my back camera, just like on my phone. But I edit everything in the TikTok app.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
what I do too. I think it's just simpler. It just makes things a lot faster too.
Yeah.
I think people kind of overthink a little bit of how much editing they actually need, and remembering that TikTok is a very unedited kind of platform, as much as like
Yeah.
I guess if you look at like YouTube or Instagram, it's a lot less edited, and so um, kind of going outside the platform and trying to really add all these like cool little like transitions and stuff are really just not what the kind of platform is made for. And so I think
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's kind of the questions that I had. So obviously everybody who's in here, you guys feel free to follow. Her handle is Bestie Brit on TikTok. Bestie Brit. Now, if you guys want to be part of our next case study, we are actually doing a trial week for free in our school community where you will get access to dozens of hours of content where I will teach you exactly what to do and how this works, as well as give you access to over 1,000 other members who are actively trying this out and keeping each other accountable as well. So if this sounds like something that you want to try out, click the link in the description and I will see you inside.